a little bit cool down. And you know we really don't eat beans cold, as you know the nature of them. Look at this. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of when we dry them up, too cold. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that. On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'll be sharing with you how to prepare a broad bean stew. Just a simple broad bean stew. It is the dried one. You could use the green ones too that you shell, you know. So I have here some dried beans. They were like this before, and they were pre-soaked for about 6 to 7 hours or more. And this is what they look like. They have been properly rehydrated. So look at the comparison. So I have washed them and I have left them to soak in some water. You want to put a pretty good amount of water, covering your beans to the max. When you cover your beans with a lot of water, you don't have to throw that water out. Therefore, while soaking, there is enough water to absorb, for the beans to absorb, to get properly rehydrated. Oftentimes people leave beans to soak and you left it for soak, and when you come back you didn't put enough and the beans just burst up and all of them something. They put enough water from the beginning. Don't stifle them. Now I am going to be leaving my beans to be cooked. I'm going to be pressuring them, but I want it to come to a boil. And this is one of the most beautiful bean stew I've ever had. And in fact, I was making this bean stew from probably maybe about 26, 27 years now. I've never shared this with you. I thought I did, but it was just how to prepare broad beans, but not actually the stew. So I'm getting it up to a boil. I can put a little more water. And I'm going to add a little salt. I'm going to get it to a boil. So I've added a little more water, regular tap water, of course, not hot water. You're going to start it with, remember, just put in a little salt, not a lot right now, just to let the beans get flavored in. So you want to give it a stir. Going to let it come to a boil in the open, and as I said, just cold water. Don't throw the water off the beans when you soak them. You're throwing off the flavor. So you cook it in the same water, but you must remember to wash. Make sure if there are any bad beans, you remove them. So we're going to leave it to come to a boil in just some good old tap water, open on the, without cover or lid, and then just a little salt. And then when it starts boiling, I'll come back to show you a good old broad beans, just broad beans. You know, I thought I had given you this recipe, but actually it was just how to make your broad beans on your own. I thought I'd gone in depth giving you the stew. It's the most beautiful stew one could ever have. So I'll catch you in the next clip. So it starts coming to a boil, cooking fam. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be lowering the flame. So you see we have all this froth coming on top. Did I say I'm gonna use my pressure pot? Yes, I'm gonna be pressuring mine. You could easily well use just your regular pot, or you could use your instant pot. Make it come to a boil, and as soon as these starts forming on the top, you're gonna gradually just take your time, just be slow. I always tell you, don't go in too much of a hurry. You want to get your thing, you know, finish all nice, looking nice, and most of all tasting nice. So if you should remove one by accident, you put it back because you need it. So you're gonna remove most of this. Try your best. You might not be able to remove all, because once you start cooking it and these form on the top, if you're pressuring it, it's gonna make a mess right there at the weight of the pressure cooker. If you're cooking it stovetop style without the pressure cooker, the pressure pot is stovetop as well. But if you're cooking it in just a regular pot, it is gonna cook and starts foaming all over. So you want to take some time. So what I'll be doing, I'll be finished removing this, and then I'll be covering my pressure pot. You don't really have to cook this on a high heat. When we pressure, some people say, ooh, when you pressure, you boil the meat. I would love for you to pay me a visit when I'm in my kitchen. When I pressure, I show it to you on camera, but I would actually love for you to be here. I don't pressure and boil. Pressuring is not supposed to be boiled. That is why I always say, just to cover the amount of stuff, that's the amount of water. Another thing too, some people don't understand that you can regulate your flame under your pressure cooker. With the manual pressure cooker, you can just turn your heat down. With the electric pressure cookers, they have modes. They have a lot of different modes that you can select on them, a lot of them. So if you have one, the more the merrier, or the more the better. So if you have one of those electric pressure cooker or instant pot, look at the front part there that have all the panel and have them little touch button. It tells you, or you read your manual, that you can go low in pressuring, you can go medium, and you can go high. All you have to do, press a button. On the manual pressure cooker, you don't have that option, so you'll have to lower your flame. So I'm gonna be cooking this on a medium flame. I'm not gonna have it high. No, I'm just gonna cook it on a medium flame. Try to remember, you can adjust, so you don't have to pressure. Pressuring don't mean all boiling rigorously or pressuring it rigorously. So see, I've tried my best and I've removed a lot of it. Maybe not all. I'm gonna open my flame up a little bit more, not too high, and I'm gonna cover my pressure pot. And you see I don't have a lot of water in there, so it's gonna be okay whilst it's cooking, and it's gonna be absorbing some more of that water. You're gonna cook it not fully through. If you're using, I'm gonna be using this with the type of pressure cooker that I have. I'm gonna be doing this for 10 minutes on the medium, so you will know how to adjust with your pressure cooker. And if you're cooking it just with a regular pot, you will know too that you will just see the heat is in there, start already. So I'll give that 10 minutes from the steam starts to release, and I'll catch you back. I'm going to prepare a little stuff that I'm going to use to put this thing together. It's not a lot of ingredients. Okay, now, so my beans are cooked, and I've cooked them slow, and it has absorbed most of the water. We just have a small amount left. I have here some coconut milk, but this is frozen coconut milk that I have, so I've just reheated it. I'm going to put about a tablespoon or a little over a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to start making a sauce to stew my beans now down into. This is just cooked. I want to make a sauce that I can have my beans with some flavor all stewed out in. So it's cooked part of the way. Remember I told you, don't cook it all the way, because we're gonna start now stewing down. So I am making this. I'm using butter, because you know butter and beans, they go together real well. Can I get my flame up a bit? Yeah. So you know why you get your butter burn. You just want your butter to be like all melted. In here I have some chopped onions, finely chopped, some garlic, and some scallions. This is what I'm going to be mainly using. So I'm going to be like sauteing off these to get like a flavor. Start building this flavor at the bottom. So I'm going to be doing it on a relatively high heat. Also, I'm going to add a little evaporated milk to the coconut milk. So this is what, remember, I did not put the salt all the way. I just put a small amount of salt. So yeah, so you want to put like, wow, my pups are behaving so bad. I have puppies. Please see with me, family. We're gonna leave that, and we're gonna just let it start, you know, cooking and start until it starts flavoring up the butter, and then we're gonna return. My little puppies are so miserable today. So this is my sauteed herbs. I'm gonna be adding just about shy of maybe half of a cup of coconut milk. Yeah. Wow. got burned right there. So I'm gonna add now maybe a cup. This is less than a cup though, this box. So I'm gonna add all of this little box, and this might maybe give me a cup. I'm not so sure. So I did add my thyme, my green thyme. You can see how colorful it is. I did add my green thyme, and my green scallions are in there. Okay, so we have that coconut milk, and we have our, I'm gonna put a little more. Yeah, so we're gonna let this come to a boil. Yeah, so whilst it comes to a boil, we're gonna be adding a little black pepper. Look at that pretty, you see that pretty yellow color? Yeah, we're gonna be adding a little black pepper, refined that is. You don't want to use all coarse hard black pepper here. Just a tot, not much of a paprika. You don't want to get this thing all too. Look at that pretty color that is stew. Look at the pretty color that you have with that butter. So you want to get it come to a boil whilst you dissolve all these little herbs. So right here now, you want to taste for some your salt perfection. The flavor is good with the coconut milk, the evaporated milk, the sauteed herbs. That's perfect. A little black pepper, a little paprika. Now we're going to taste if we need extra salt. Remember, we did cook this with a little salt. Yes, we do. Wow, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. We do need a little salt. That should be good. It's coming to a boil. Lower your flame. Now, these are not fully cooked. They are gonna cook down in this stew or this sauce until they are tender. Far tender. And I will be coming along a few times every now and then. Look at that. What do you think about that, Dad? Slow cooked. We'll be slow cooking them down in this beautiful sauce. And we'll be coming every now and then to turn them and just to let them be fork tender, slow cooked. When that has happened, I'll return. I know you're hearing my puppies. I had to close my door, so I'm sweating so much. I'll get you when these are done. Beautiful. Okay, now family, look at this simmering. Beans are all cooked. Let me show you. All cooked. Look at this. Look how the fork goes right down in there. Look at that. All cooked. Are simmering away. And this is the time now that we can turn our flame off. We're gonna let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes and then just gel together in that stew, in that this coconut and evaporated milk. Look at that. Look at the color. Look at them. We're gonna leave it right there. You want to have it. You want to have it with this color. If you want to go a little more, you could put some turmeric. If you want, you could put some curry paste. I did show you how to make that. Do what you want to do with it. I don't think you should put anything dark. It's broad beans. You know, broad beans always depend on the clearer side. So look here. I'm going to leave it to just sit. Look at that. And as it sits and as it cools down, the sauce will thicken a little more. Don't have your beans all soaked and cracked, and when they start cooking, all that outer coating there does come off and they're broken. Look at that. This is so beautiful. As it sits, the beans will continue to absorb this warm liquid, and then you will see. When I come back, I'll just present to you. And of course, yours truly, I'm gonna have some for you. I love this. I really do love this bean stew. A little bit cool down, and you know we really don't eat beans cold, as you know the nature of them. Look at this. Look at this. That shoot them up on that. Look at this bean stew. From my kitchen to yours. From my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is this creamy broad bean stew. Simple. You'll just love it. You can have it with bulgur, brown rice, you name it. You can have it with even white rice. You can have it with just your meat only. Please do enjoy. No, I've got to taste for you. I really love this. I could never do this and don't taste for you. So I'm gonna take some, because this is what we'll be having with some burger for dinner at home, right, Dad? This is definitely, Dad loves it. Yeah, Dad is not a man who eat any and certain things Dad not go for. Let me tell you, my girl just stepped in here and she says, Mom, she said, Mom, this smells so heavenly. I don't know what in there, but it was just so, the whole house family was just so good. We went on the outside and the breeze was blowing and it was so good. I'm just gonna taste for you. I think I might need a little more of this sauce. Why am I going so sparing on this sauce, Dad? Wow, this is so beautiful. The last time I did it I had it only, I think when I did the turkey neck, barbecue turkey neck, I had aside some, and I added with just the turkey neck and some vegetables. It's still hot though. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. 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 We did do it with coconut milk before, Dad, right?
Yeah.
We never. This is the first time with the coconut milk. Yeah. Family, it's beautiful. Give it a try. Let me know. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you. Some of this broad bean stew.